Today, I have had a few extremely good experiences with men, and I want to share them with you because I feel like as women, we are so often discouraged from so many things. The Wizard Liz just recently shared a video about her partner cheating on her, and the title of the video was How to Get Cheated On. Obviously, that was not um not like a fully serious title. But the reason I'm bringing the video up is because in the video she mentions how she must like men, or she may be so influenced by the patriarchy where every woman she has ever grown up with or been close to married for the sake of getting outside of the house, that today she as a woman does not really live authentically in her sexuality. So she basically hides who she is, right? And also, it takes men's earning her trust and loyalty and love to for her to give men a chance, even. And I recognize myself in that because, first of all, I also live in patriarchy. I do not come from matriarchy. I come from Europe. So this is a very like Christian dominated place, and in Christianity, domination is very prevalent, especially by men, because humans dominate other species and men dominate women. But this has repercussions, and one of them is, first of all, a lack of matriarchy, so women suppressing their own sexuality for the sake of feeling safe and remaining secure. And second of all, women do not put themselves out there as much, and so men's choices are way more limited in terms of women, choosing partners, and choosing mothers for their children based on authenticity and vulnerability, because women are not really as straightforward, you know what I mean? So I just want to share a few positive experiences with men because all these things happened in one day. And uh okay, I was dressed well. I had my makeup done. I did have my hair done. I just washed my hair this morning. um by the way, um I have, like, this is my natural hair color, but I was wearing a thick straight eyeliner right above my eyes, and the eyeliner went, as it is now, i- more inward to the corner, to the inward corner of my eyes. So it didn't just start from like the 2/3 of the eye. I actually went like more inward, so it was more like eye opening. And also, I was wearing a white t-shirt. By the way, I'm still wearing it. I had like, yeah, a necklace, denim um jacket, and a black pair of hiking pants, like a simple hiking pants. So trousers, and yeah, just clean shoes, my nails average. And what happened to me today was, first of all, it was fun. Okay, I sometimes feel like I cannot have more fun in my life because I cannot afford that. So it's kind of ironic because you often may get told that you have time, or you may get told that you don't have time. So I feel like both are true for every person. If you have goals, you should be impulsive in a way where you act on motivation, but not so impulsive that you distract yourself with the wrong things and then lose focus and momentum towards your goals. So laser focus is very important, but I feel like when it comes to dating, I basically did lose time. I have been with the wrong people, but I have also been with very, very good men. And I sometimes feel like there are so many men in the world, especially where I live, and like I live close to a capital. This place where I am now is close to the capital. This is like a suburban town, but I would say that it is separate from the capital. But in this country where I live, it is definitely separate. And if I was to, if I was in a different country, for example, maybe this would be the actual suburb. But what I'm saying is the capital is not so big, but still there are like 2 million inhabitants, and this allows for a sufficient amount of men and women to meet each other. However, if you narrow down your age and preferences based on preferences, um, then you might find that you actually don't have such a huge amount of people to choose from. However, the ones you can choose from tend to be quite average, and you may not recognize the good traits about them up front when they actually see you for the first time. For example, uh, okay, I will go in linear, in timely um, order. So the first thing happened when I got on the bus, and there was this guy in front of me, and he, what he did was he showed me the way, right? So he stopped in front of the door, and he just showed me get on the bus before me. So as a way of courtesy, he um, just made room for me. And I'm sure he would have easily helped me with my scooter too, because I move with the scooter, and because of that, it takes like a little bit of effort for me to get on the bus because I have to take my scooter. So sometimes I ask men, not women, men only, to help me with my scooter, and they do, or they don't. But like I would say out of 50 times, only one person tends to say no, fortunately. But when I got on the bus, I got, you know, a good place because of this guy. And also on the way back, the same thing happened on the bus. And then the same thing happened again on the way back when I got on the train. So basically, three men were showing me the way. And it's like they looked average, but the one guy who showed me the way on the train, he was like kind of my age. And sometimes I just wonder, since I've been raised very, very Christian and very shy, even my family considers me like introverted when I consider myself extroverted. So, it kind of just takes a certain level of trust within the social group for me to actually open up. But once I do, I am extremely extroverted. So obviously I don't talk to every stranger, but what I'm saying is sometimes I wonder what I can do in these scenarios of positive reinforcement with the opposite aspects, like what I can do, to show my appreciation besides saying thank you, because I'm so used to saying thank you and just nodding or showing smiling, showing a little bit of a physical sign. But sometimes I wonder what I can do. Uh, Still today happened as I was in a sports shop. So basically, this is a European sports monopoly. Can I say that? It sells sports gear, clothes, everything sports related. Um, and the logo is blue, so you may know what I'm talking about. And there was this guy in one particular shop in the capital. When I went in the shop, he immediately approached me and asked me, "How can I help you?" How he could help me, and I immediately replied, I'm looking for this and that, and he was so kind and respectful. I was surprised because when I was younger, it didn't really matter what I had makeup on or not, because first of all, I wasn't ever really putting on a lot of makeup, so I wouldn't stand out with makeup and hair and clothes. But if I did put on makeup, I wouldn't stand out as much because people could usually tell my age, or it wouldn't influence my energies as much. Whereas now, when I'm a young adult with a little bit of, dating experience behind my back, I really notice these differences in how people treat me or don't treat me. And it's kind of sometimes unbelievable. Like, um, I, I think we live in an extreme society by means of people treating each other in certain ways based on appearance is, and I really do believe we live in an extremely shallow society. And I just wish that, I wouldn't like meet people and then never see them again, no matter how good or bad the experience was with them, because I just think it's not fair for them, to like I do want to be remembered when I leave this earth. I do want to be uh like a good influence in other people, even men. And I don't just want to be an individual. Like, I want to be involved. I want to belong. I want to be included by something, like some entity, a group of people, maybe a family. But I don't necessarily want to have my own family. I just want security and reliability. So what I'm saying is there are so many good experiences, and I I really want to know what I can do as a woman to show my appreciation without coming across as anything in particular. Like, I have read Whole Tactics. Okay, this is a dating book basically, written by G.L. Lambert, about how a woman can actually kind of step into her femininity without being embarrassed about her, you know, reactions and sexuality, and maybe even step forward for a man to approach. But like, I still basically belong to my family, so I have to actively like take these shallow defensive traits off myself, so I can like come across as open to men, when really, if I let's say I had, let's say I was homeless, for example. Let's say I was in acute, immediate physical needs of, security, food, whatever, and I actually looked like presentable because, I don't know, like I had resources for that. I wouldn't act closed off at all. I wouldn't act like I had been raised extremely Christian and shy. I wouldn't act like anyone had ever told or assumed of me that I was shy. I would act like I need that person. So obviously we would connect and get to know each other. But it's like always, every time I get home, I realize I am in need. So I, even if I come across as this dignified, honorable, respect me, demanding respect type of person, I know that the cost of my elegance is also a void inside me. And I think everyone has a void inside them. It's not an extreme like thing, but uh I do have needs because I am a human being. For example, contact, human contact comfort, just saying hi to someone. I feel better by doing so. So, another example today was when I was sitting on the bus and on the way back home, and this guy I noticed is sitting across me. Um, he's sitting across from me. He's sitting on my left, and we have these. Never mind. We have these two pairs of seats on both sides of the bus. Okay, I'm gonna sort that out there. So we are sitting across from each other, and I have my scooter next to me, and it is closer to his side. So once a person gets on the bus, I have to move it towards me so it doesn't stand in the way for new people to come. And once I did that, because a new person got on, this person sitting across from me, he moved his back towards him, and he still was staring at me, invitingly, and he moved his back towards him so I could sit next to him. But I didn't. I just smiled under my breath, like I kind of made a small gesture, but I didn't do anything. Like I didn't sit next to him, and I regret that because he was staring at me so like intensely that even though I did not look into his eyes, I could tell that I caught his interest, and so I just feel. I mean, I don't feel guilty, but I just feel like I did have an opportunity there. Like, what if I start talking to him and it turns out that this man has like a yacht? Like, I'm not saying um I'm going to a yacht party next week,